On this week's show, Fred's special guest is Jules Rauch, 2000 Angler of the Year on the Professional Redfish Tour. Jules was eager to experience the thrill of catching striped bass in New Jersey waters.
Hi, I'm Fred Uhlman, and welcome to Jersey Cape Fishing. It's a gorgeous day, but you can see by the way we're dressed, it's not the middle of summer. We're well into fall, and that means stripers. This season so far, we've been plagued with wind, storms, rain, you name it, we've had it. Everybody's chomping at the bit. We have a guest with us today, Jules Rauch. He fishes the redfish tournaments down south, and he brought his boat all the way up from Florida to fish for stripers with us in the back bay. So we're gonna fire up the motor, ease on out, pick a nice little spot, and do some fishing.
So this is called chunking.
Yes. We set up in the back. We're in fishing right now in about 30 feet of water. Our anchor's up in about 12 to 15 feet. It's a nice little cut that pours right up this point of land here. I started chunking already with the clam pieces, and that's just scooping them up, throwing them out, letting the current take them behind us. Theory, and it works. They drift out behind the current. Stripers love clams. They pick up that scent, they pick up the pieces, and they start moving right towards the boat. And sometimes you have a 5-minute wait, other times we've waited as much as 40 minutes, but once they turn on, it's usually hot action after that. It's kind of like the people that fish out in the ocean. When they see the clam boats working inshore within 3 miles, they know their dredge is picking up the clams, but they're breaking a few of them up, and there's clam meat and juice leaking out. And a whole fleet of boats will form up right behind them. And you can throw eels in there. All you're going to catch the stripers on is clam. They are geared for the clam. So by coming back here, anchoring up, chunking with these clam pieces, we actually become a clam boat. These fish will turn onto them, and then we see it when we clean them back at the dock that they're gorged. They'll be throwing them up when they get up to the surface here by the net. You can't beat a clam. Easy bait to use. The fish love them. We love the fish. It all works out.
Fred, how far away would you guess that a striper can smell the scent from the chunking?
The longest we had to wait was about almost an hour, and that was out in Delaware Bay, chunking like this. So you figure maybe in an hour that scent should be, I'd say, almost 4 miles behind the boat. And not so much the chunks; they'll settle down and bounce
right
on the bottom, but the juice that goes out, and they will just follow it up and eat their way right up to your boat.
Fred, when we're in the back bays, what kind of predators do the stripers have?
The prey on them?
Yes.
Nothing right now. The only thing that'll prey on a striper back here right now is another striper.
So then the real key is, if the food supply's here, there's no reason for them not to just continue to want to stay.
Right.
And I guess that the food supply is kind of dictated by the water temperature?
Water temperature, and that'll chase a lot of the bait fish around. For about 2 months, we were just overwhelmed back in here with the baby bunker and some mullet, but they've gone. And there's still shiners, minnows back here. There's a lot of crabs, mantis shrimp, and unfortunately, we found out last year that the baby flounder, summer flounder from this past spring, they spend their first winter back in here. And as the bait fish supply seems to dwindle, the stripers will actually go down and start rooting around into the grass and the mud on the bottom, and and look for these baby flounder.
Well, I guess you can't blame. They're gonna eat whatever's available.
Yep. Yeah, they don't discriminate. If it's in front of them and it'll fit in their mouth, they will eat it. And yet the week before, we had a couple right back in this spot here that were 20 pounds, and I had one, my dream fish. I hooked it. I had 300 yards, a 14-pound line on this, and he just spooled me. He never slowed down, never turned around and take a look at me. I never put my hand on the handle. I just held on to the rod, and he left. So there's some big fish. A lot of people think Back Bay, small fish. No, there's some real big cows back in here. There's a lot of fish. There's a lot of food. They're feeding on the crabs, on some bait fish. We found baby tog in them. There's a lot of food right back here. As long as you have food, you'll hold the fish.
How big do stripers really get?
Well, the world record comes from Atlantic City, as a matter of fact. I believe it was 78 pounds. And
yeah, I think that record has been standing for quite a while.
yeah, they know there's bigger fish out there. I talked to one marine biologist, works for the state, and he said that they found a striper, part of a carcass offshore, that they estimate went over, well over 100. They figured about 125 pounds. You're talking a big fish.
That's a big fish, and most of us that are fishing with, you know, rod and reel and 20 or 30 pound tackle really aren't going to be capable of handling a fish like that.
No, that's the kind like that either spool you or break your line. You know?
Like that one you had earlier
I'm sure
this year.
that was probably 90, 100, maybe even 200 pounds. It'll get bigger as I continue to talk about
Absolutely, like everything else. Fishermen's stories always get bigger. Well, I'm hoping while Fred's fishing with the clam bellies, I've got a artificial bait on. I'm using a Mr. Twister smoking shad, which is an imitation of a small bait fish, and I'm using a jig head, fishing right in that chum line next to Fred's clam belly.
We're still suffering a little bit from the northeast storm we had last weekend. The water's still churned up. You can see there's a lot of stuff floating on the surface. The first place we tried had been productive. It was like a blender there. There was so much seaweed being churned up that as soon as we got our lines out, sit on the bottom, they would just load up with the weeds. So we moved over to another sod bank. We're not in the main current here. It's still deep water, but the main channel should suck some of the seaweed out. We should be okay here. We've scored here in the past. Conditions are perfect. Let's see what happens.
I'm going to try another exude bait. These baits they've been out now, I guess this is the third year. They're made by Mr. Twister Meps, designed by a biochemist from Louisiana. And it has amino acids and enzymes in it throughout the bait as a fish attractant, and are extremely successful in the bass world and pike, pickerel, and other freshwater species. We use this bait almost exclusively in Florida and Louisiana. Once a fish grabs a hold of it, they don't want to leave it. They want to eat it.
We finally had a striper picked up. I didn't even feel him bite. He just sucked it up real light. He's running some line. Yeah, he doesn't want to be here. Here he comes up towards the surface. That's what I love about these fish.
Nice fish.
In the back bays, they just automatically come up to the surface. I don't know what it is. Now, I never felt a bite. I was just picking it up.
That
he was
probably
there.
what I felt originally.
Yep.
He came right up and then passed on to you.
It's amazing that with a mouth that big, they can come up and just gently pick something up.
Nice fish.
You just saw the boat?
Yeah.
Come on up, baby. Yeah, pretty fish. Real nice one.
All right, good fish. Man, he's got some weight to him.
He's got some bulk.
Good job, Fred.
Thank you.
Well, he just absolutely lights up.
Yep.
That fluorescent, kind of purple, just absolutely gorgeous fish.
And a bucket of a mouth. Now, that's a big, long, skinny male. Females would have that big, bulging
Big
belly on them. Yeah.
33 to the fork.
Yep. 34 to the tips. 34-inch striper. Sitting here in dead calm, flat water in the back bay. Want to get your kids interested in fishing? This is ABC. Simple as that. Yeah. This is it. This is clam soup. And the juice does just as much as the chunks do. Never seen a fish react to the clams like the stripers do. It's like candy to a kid.
Candy to a kid.
Yep.
That's a great description.
He doesn't feel very big. He made one good run and that was it. But he grabbed, that was the total opposite of the first fish. He just grabbed that line and left. Yeah. This might be a slot. Maybe not.
All right. Another nice fish. A little
Yep.
smaller than the first one.
Right along the side bank. Chunking with clam. Gorgeous fish.
Great fish. 28.
28. So you can go either way. Yeah, that was a total opposite. He just grabbed it and he went that way.
And he caught that one closer to the shore.
Pushing off with the net.
3-0. That looks like a bigger fish, Fred.
They always have. It's amazing. Sometimes you get the small fish out here that do the bigger runs. These are just fantastic fish for fighting. They got that big broad tail, and they know they stay broadside to the current. He'll wake up in a second when he sees this pretty boat. Nice fish.
Nice fish. All right. That's the heavier fish.
Yep, that might be the female.
Much heavier.
Yeah, that's a lot broader.
She's got a big belly to her. Almost all species, the females are bigger
Yep.
because they've got the reproduction requirements.
I bet you that's half clam bellies in there.
You measure from where?
35 inches.
35 inches.
And the fish grip, once you grab it, that's it. See that nice broad tail? There's not many fish up here in New Jersey waters that have that broad of a tail, that kind of strength back in here. That's what gives them their
There's a lot
their
of power
Yep.
developed in that.
Yep. You can see the iridescent pinkish and light purples in there. Just gorgeous fish.
Captain, you're doing the job.
Yeah,
here.
there's some. I got the bottom layer.
I'm getting a lesson here.
Now you go for the top layer. Now that was my third striper. I got the one slot, which is just about rated 28, and the 34 and a 35 incher. So now I have to fill out my trophy tag. I keep it here in a little resealable bag. See, while I'm doing this, he gets a chance to catch one.
Now, who do you send that to, Fred?
New Jersey Division of Fish and Wildlife Striped Bass Bonus Program. You can send it to them, or there's a lot of bait and tackle shops that participate in it. I can take this over to them today. They take some scale samples from the fish and they measure it, and then they'll give me a card to replace this one right away. Yep.
Still just bumping at it.
It might be coming towards you. Yeah. Yeah, you got him. Nope. All right.
All right.
See, that just proved the only way Julius was going to catch a fish is I had to keep my line out of the water.
Tell you what, this is,
Come on up. Show your fin and your tail. Feel good?
it feels great. You know, this light tackle,
Yeah.
the Daiwa rod is can handle this fish.
They definitely use that current to their advantage.
Yeah, they
don't
sure do. Doesn't want to come up at all.
No. Usually the bigger fish, they'll stay down till you get them near the boat.
Nice fish.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, you gotta love them. Streamline male.
Number one. All right. Great looking fish. New Jersey inshore striper fishing.
Jersey Gold.
Jersey Gold, is that
Yeah,
what you call it?
that's what I call them. Yeah.
Ah, that's a great fish.
Yeah,
32.
Yep.
Just shy of 10 pounds. Nice looking fish.
Mine finally have company.
Yes, sir.
See the clam belly up there?
Yeah, he's already thrown one of the clam
Yep.
bellies up. And from a family standpoint, you know, if you've got your wife and a couple of kids and somebody's unhappy for whatever reason, you can take them back.
Yeah.
They can be put ashore and you can be back fishing and you wouldn't be wasting 15 minutes, which
Right.
is, there's a lot said for that.
And you totally void out the possibility of getting seasick back here.
We moved up here right off the intercoastal. The intercoastal isn't 300 feet away.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've got, what, 5 fish?
Yeah.
Missed a nice fish. I mean,
That one break off.
there are a lot of times that you won't get half of that much activity and be happy about it.
Right. Fish on.
This feels a little bigger than the last one.
That looked like it when you set the hook on that baby. No. Here's one of these show-offs.
Now this is a considerably bigger fish.
Yeah, land the plane, land the plane. We had a little bit of a lull, but Julia's hooked up here. Feel good?
Feels like a great fish.
Feels like a great fish, he says.
That's the sound I like to hear.
That was fibers.
Love the drag.
Yeah. You think you'll need a net on this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just because you're a nice guy.
Man, they do like to tug at these things.
Yep. And you're fighting the fish and the current?
Yeah, that fish has his head down. You can feel the tail every now and then strike the line.
Oh, yeah. We got us a horse.
All right. Jersey striper. A little over 13 pounds. Nice fish. What do you think, Captain?
The box looks impressive. Good job. Well, here's a fine example of the striper fishing that's available in our backwaters.
Yeah, inshore fishing here in South Jersey has been absolutely phenomenal. As a fisherman from Florida, this was a great experience to come and experience what we call shallow water or inshore fishing, salt water, and areas that really are relatively untapped except by the pros like Fred Uhlman.
Yeah, this is great on the year when it's just been a wind factor almost every day, and this weekend it's supposed to be blowing again 25 to 35. When it's like that, Delaware Bay's churned up to mud. The rips are, that's when the rip monster comes out and grabs you and pulls you in. We've had quite a few boats flip over already this year. So don't overlook the back bays. Like my father always told me, people run over fish to get to fish. Check out some of these back bay areas, the inshore fishing for these stripers. You can see you got some beautiful sized fish here. It's simple, it's safe. It's a great way to start the family out on fishing. You're not running them out 15, 20 miles from port. It's going to be calm water even on a windy day. You can sit in the back here and fish.
And today we used a 19-foot boat, and we caught 6 nice fish like this. Eating quality is probably some of the best that can be brought out of the water, and tremendous fighting fish. When you take a look at that mouth, I mean that's a serious animal coming out of the water and being caught inshore. You don't need to run 40 or 50 miles offshore to catch really quality fish, and it's available really for a family. And I look forward to having a great meal this evening. I've had a great time fishing with Fred. He certainly is a man with a great deal of knowledge. Anyone looking to learn about inshore fishing can't go to a better individual than Fred Uhlman.
Well, thank you, Julius. It was a pleasure having you up here. We'll have to make this another trip and
I certainly hope so,
get
Fred.
up here and get some more of these big bad boys. So tune in again next week. We're going to have a new show. And until then, keep fishing.
And thank you very much.